Hello students, I welcome you all in this video. In this video, we are going to talk about a question of NEET 2018, right? This question is basically based on a concept of pseudo force, concept of non-inertial frame of reference, right? This question is basically a block of mass m is placed on a smooth inclined wedge ABC of angle theta, that's shown in the figure. The inclination angle is theta. The wedge is given an acceleration a towards right. The relation between a and theta for the block to remain stationary on the wedge, right? So try to understand here what is happening. We have a wedge and there's a block on the wedge, right? So what is happening? This wedge is accelerating rightward with some acceleration a. Now you have to stable a relation between the angle theta and this acceleration such that this mass small m, which is on the wedge, that is going to be at rest with respect to wedge, right? So let us solve this question. Let us first of all draw this wedge and let us see what is happening here. So let me just draw the wedge first. Okay, students, so this is the wedge that we have. This angle is given to us, that is theta, and there's a mass m which is placed on the wedge here, right? This wedge is accelerating with some acceleration a. This wedge, yeah, the acceleration of the wedge is a rightward, and this is the block having mass small m placed on the wedge, right? Now let us talk about first of all the free body diagram of the wedge. Okay, so if you talk about the free body diagram with respect to a person who is sitting on the wedge only, right? See, the concept of pseudo force says that the person who is on that accelerating frame of reference, on the non-inertial frame of reference, that person can only apply, or that observer can only apply the pseudo force. So that guy will tell you, since this is at rest, so the vertically downward force is mg. This force is normal reaction, and if you do the component of normal reaction along x and y axis, I have defined this is x and y, this is my y axis, this is the x axis. So what is this angle? See, there's a concept in physics which says that if angle between two lines is theta, then angle between their perpendiculars will also be theta, and angle between their one perpendicular, one parallel will be 90 minus theta, right? So if you talk about the normal line, that is basically perpendicular to the inclined plane, right? And this line is perpendicular to the wedge. So if this angle is theta, this angle has to be theta. Now let's do the component. So if you do the component, this is going to be n cosine theta, and this is n sine theta. Now think about the person who is writing this equation. That guy will tell you, since the wedge is accelerating rightward with some acceleration a, and there is no other real force acting on the wedge, there's just one force, that is n sine theta on the wedge. So that guy will tell you that just to make the laws of motion valid, we have to apply a force in the backward direction, in opposite direction to the acceleration, and that is basically this mass of this like the block which is placed on the inclined plane, and acceleration of the wedge, acceleration of the inclined plane, right? So now this is the balanced forces on this small m. So when you balance it, what can you say? You will say that n sine theta is basically balancing ma. This is with respect to what? With respect to a person who is on the wedge only. This is our observer. I'm repeating it again, because if you talk about a person who is sitting on the ground, according to that guy, that n sine theta is not going to be ma, means pseudo force is not going to be act uh, like that. That guy will tell you n sine theta is there, and block is accelerating rightward with some acceleration a, since that block is placed on the wedge, and wedge is accelerating a. Therefore, that n sine theta is ma. So that's a different approach. But with respect to a person who's sitting on the wedge, that will tell you n sine theta is balanced by a pseudo force ma, and this n cosine theta is basically mg. So this is equation 1, this is equation 2. Then if you talk about if you divide this get cancelled out. Then sine theta by cosine theta is tan theta. So then tan theta is a by g. So what is the acceleration? That is g tan theta, right? So which option is going to be true? Option fourth is the correct answer, right? I hope this is clear to you guys. Thank you.